should a church leaders involve in politics? But soon after election, no, itu apni kan laga kam nahi, ini apni kan tu jabi coin isna church leaders kan get chore. So is or are church leaders being used by the politician today? Is it right for a pastor to go to every candidate house and pray during election? Greetings to all the viewers. Today I'm so privileged to be with Sir GB Kahuto Chishi, a renowned, well-known person in Nagaland. He is one of the most celebrated commentator in any kind of issue in Nagaland. And today I'm very much privileged for his time, and I'm just here to discuss some few points related to the church as well as the church leaders and the politics in Nagaland. So basically today we will be discussing about the clean election movement. So kindly listen to all the conversation that we're going to have now, and please share with all the people, as many as possible as you can, and kindly listen. Sop manu itu hunikena babi sabi aro husasa kweshe kule share out kodibi. Our intention of discussing this topic is not to hurt any group or organization or people, but we are going to bring a constructive criticism as well as comments to uplift the society, the churches, and the church leaders as well. So without wasting much time, we will go into our conversation. Amikanto for viewers to reach out larger audience, amikanto Nagames pra kuribo aro English aro Nagames mix kurigena kotha kuribo lase aji. So first of all, as I said before, we're going to discuss a little bit about clean election campaign or clean election movement in Nagaland. So clean election actual intention to kya ase aro itu laga matlab to kya ase?
Clean election to it's to be corruption na ekta rasta de sapa kore will try kora.
Acha.
So that is the intention. The problem to it was church by initiate kore is do na. So bali ase only be manu bi pagla tu hoy na. तो अपनी रूम एक ता सापा करे बोले तो खाली ना टेबल ही सापा करे ने चेयर खान तो फ्लोर खान तो सापा न करे तो मानो भी नोटिस करे तो मिसना इलेक्शन के पैसा खा तो पार्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम इन नागालैंड दे खाली ट्विन में दे तो चर्च टू क्लीन इलेक्शन ला कोता ही कोई दोसा करप्शन नहीं कोई दो ताकि पर फेलियर वैसे
okay yeah
टैकल करो बोले होल टैकल करो बोले लगे ना खाली एक ता पार्टी टैकल करो तो इतरो मनी भी इतरो एक्सेप्ट ना करे तो इतु बुझी बोला लगे ना इंटेंशन तो बाल बोले अप्रोच तो उल्टा
अच्छा so in that case that means clean election campaign actually in the beginning it's not raised by some political group,
no,
but it all started by the religious organizations.
Yes, abam na abab this argument.
Okay, clean election campaign motive. The main motive of clean election campaign to politician kan pura raise kura la no hai. Itu churches kan pura raise kura laga se. So then how far and do the politician and the political group agrees or support in this clean election campaign or movement?
All politicians na सब support करे. बोली भी ताकला intention तो आरो उल्टा. ताकला तो support करो पैसा save करे बोली भी. ना. ताकला तो पैसा मुझे तो वाने इतने मुझे लिखी के ना तो 2017 की मुझे article लिखी तो. और मुझे कुआ तो ना. Clean election public pra paisa na khaile guarantee dibo parbo na paribo church to politician kan paisa na khabo koi na na to church pra success koribo koile to okay initiate koribi clean election aru election khotom kora basi corruption
yeah, that's the point. So who does the funding for the clean election campaign, and if that funding is from any political organization, is it a clean funding to have a clean election campaign?
See, that is the question. Now, in any organization movement no you always follow the money na paisa kot pra ahe ase na paisa ge khata bi ko english ti na follow the money na to itur moi kobo na pare kun pra paisa di ase only be ekjun du moi lor koi gina ase takan pra di je koi gina na aspiring politician ekta pra aro takan du paisa save koribo nimiti na to public sopra noeli bi na say 20-30% pra khana gole tan money well spent na church ke dia do na so that is for the church na sabi Nagaland the church iman is a church organization na audit na honest audit lo no le du hudi bo lagin na apni ra church to libe na audit paisa kot pra hai je kot jai je na itu nis na any modu I am not against the church. I'm against the practices.
Yeah.
Nah. Construction tini kro phelai do. To itu paisa kot pra hai je. Aru kile dukia manu ke na sai. Every church ti dukia manu ase do. Aru pandemic especially. Pandemic ti individual church ekta dita or to crazy but as a whole na. Iku kurana do. So things like that na itu aspect ekta na clean election ke liye success hona hai underground extortion ke liye bond kuro na pare so connected hai se because these are only na parts of corruption na to kuribo gole so na attack kuribo lage na succeed kuribi na kuribi na fight kuribo lage against na government na department kan lalibi department bi selected department kuribo na lage na
So, in connection with this, is election campaigning organizers or the movement misleading our church leaders?
See, the problem na, with an organization is there are so many people. So, there may be 90% of the people may be good and honest. But if the 10 people, if they are powerful, they will hijack the whole organization to do what they want. So clean election campaign as of now is misleading the people. Na mano ke duka ase. Yeah. Itu tan politician la interest kam kore ase. Na politician la paisa save koribo nimiti tan itu kore ase.
So in this connection, are church leaders becoming a puppet or some activist who has already been bribed by the politician or some bureaucrats?
No, it is there. Nah. Church leaders are manipulating politicians, politicians are manipulating church leaders. Nah? Underground also, all of them. Why? Because all of them are corrupt in their own way. Now, the church also is corrupt by itself. That is why they can adjust with corrupt people from others. Nah? Underground organizations also are corrupt. That is why they can adjust with each other. The government also is corrupt. So it is a symbiotic environment of corruption. Now one is supporting the other.
A circle of corruption.
You cannot say that politicians are buying the church or the church is buying the politician or the underground is buying. No, all of them give and take in one way or the other.
So, as expected to the general public to maintain clean election, do the elect leader maintain the clean ruling, or do the church organizers, or association or church, or the clean election organizer leaders expect or order the elect people to maintain the clean ruling?
No, they don't think.
So, matlab itu asa question bole खाली जनरल पब्लिक के क्लीन
कुरिबी को ऐसे माने पैसा ना खाबी को ऐसे ना
तो पैसा ना खाबी और एनी फ्री प्रबोध दिबी को ऐसे
क्लीन इलेक्शन को अभी ना खाली पैसा ली को ऐसे वायलेंस ला ना कोई ना मानो कि सभी चुंकिया दी मुराई दिसो तो तभी church organization
condemnation
तभी condemnation भी ध्यान नहीं दो ना
we only look on money
fight करी था क्या ना तो खाली पैसा ना खाबी को ऐसे दो मेले झगड़ा करी भी की करी भी ना see that is not clean election
And if we are looking for the integrity to maintain the righteousness of Christianity, we should not look only about money.
Yes,
And we should not talk only about the money, but we should also talk about other corruption.
Yes, behavior of people. No?
Violence during
yes,
election. So many things. So I also feel like to ask you this one question. Is election campaign movement a mastermind of some politician to shift the blame on general public for their non-development?
Kobo na pare, only be more observation di. Election di poisa chola to mon se magani first as first and only. Only be aste effect kuri jai do na to au kan ke na effect kuri jai so ki mi di moguk sum town di sema population quite sizable ta is do 80s up to 80s 90s na. तो itu kan do sema kan do mala style ase jagena sida candidate lo jagena poisa mangil we do au kan do india thaga ne de moi do I was born and brought up in moksum na to moi jane do to au kan ni kogole sapa thai ge ni camp kholibo oi camp ti khalo mudu kan lo try but cash for votes na ole sema kan manga suru hoise to au kan mi manga suru hoise do to itu candidate kan do lo duk pass suru hoise do so I don't know na politician kan pra church ke instigate korigena na church pra dekhigena na itu initiative na that is my observation de clean election bi itu nimidi start korise not to cover up corruption not to shift the blame but to save money na or to stop people from doing this practice na either of these two
with good intention with good motive korise only be itha to itu politicians kan pra itu loigena
oh yeah now they using it not to cover up their thing
politician kan pra itu loigena tai kan kuri bole para laga na kura kan bi itu nimiti they seems to blame
yes now it is there now they are shifting the blame to the public saying that we are forced to be corrupt because you take money during election but initially it was not that
so ami kan laga bacha na fir pura pali dibi aro tai kan bi government laga kam kuri bole dibo bosti manu itu bi ko ase to is it really applicable kind of illustratable words
super dirty to as to itu free vote no do vote nimidi poisa mango to ek bar mangi as to free vote ko gena bacha ke kam dibi ko di to 30 years poisa khai di as to tangkha na are you on the track so there is no free vote that is not free vote
so any bosti te
employment nimidi vote budli gura na takana khandan pura na
kobo koile itu na thaka manu to any 5-6,000 or 10-20,000 loigena any for 5 years or maybe as long as that candidate is ruling tai khan to mangaboli bi na para hoy to kon ba bureaucrats or the party workers leaders bosti ti jane manu khan to ami khan to free vote de ase de nam to na to kobo koile tai khan ni bisu khai
oi do ta ni
to problem to will clean election or can clean election campaign or movement can be successful in Nagaland Nagaland to successful hobo
no not in this manner na moi do ni do be quiz clean candidate like Nagaland we don't need clean election we need clean candidates na candidate kan bra paisa na phelai gena na all of the phela bola gele election is all of the phela bola ni aja nole agent kan na bera kan na all of na but within that is thing na recoverable na honestly kini midi mogan kiman kini election ko libi paisa to khabule ase na aru mogan 5 years development la paisa khaye ase do so we are entitled na election di paisa lo entitled ho jese do
to have a clean election campaign or movement or successful clean election in Nagaland ami kan general public no janya manu na janya manu ke eman blame de na khabi ko ase oli bi tai to book lagi gena ase book lagi gena thaga manu to dia ase koisa khoile khai jai oli bi can the clean election organizer or the movement speak to the candidate and itu successful hobo karone candidate khani clean hoise
we rone ko clean candidate hobo lage na aro endorse koribo lage clean candidate na but no koribo Kini mide church organization itself is corrupt na. To dakan honest money get ula ule di ule mon nai. Ne. Maybe in my campaign duita family India face kori is first ekta group aise tin bar face kori se. Ole bi duita to mani expect group ekta aise ama kan. Atan ko is admission time punti aise to modo kori bi ko is. To mo ko is admission to asal bi kori wa asal election na tayo kulon mani bo. Na or mo dia nai. But duita family na itu ini desperate pra na vote bika bole aise molo bacha admission kori bi vote apni di bo na to itu duita ke mo paisa di se de but mo koi se vote to apnan kun ge di bole mon se di bi na because mo ta na case sai na genuine case na so that depends on the case mo bishi bhala se ko na ole mo ja to I contested to prove a point that clean election campaign it was a farce dokia baz aise church to tarando they are not interested in tackling corruption they are not interested in supporting the clean candidate I proved it church ekta bi mola all pastor kan do individual bishi aise de as individuals only as an organization na ekta bi na organization no gene single church holi bi na ekta bi moi ge muk prabi na tiba dibi ko anoi na so it clean election of kotha ko no ko bi na mo the sick and tired 2017 by likhi na koi na itu itadak punjas de aro mo prove bi kuri dis do itu misal ase guna clean election
in one way or other way the church organization association and the church leaders they are also involving in politics in this manner
yes
so how far can or should a church leaders involve in politics
itu Europe ti na Middle Ages ti iman war kuris do aro tati war kurado tadi pra separation of church and state ules do na pola do Holy Roman Emperor like so emperor and the pope were the same na in the sense na first ti itu Emperor Constantine na tai convert kurigena tati pra na Holy Pope to alak thai so paso di Pope pra to power lo se to na king kan dia appoint kuru boli betai itu power lo se to European kingdom kan di to tadi pra war wina tan tadi pra buji se church is different state is different na Holy Mohan to Nagaland itu concept itu tak nai di na Mohan so combine aru ekta bi tik na jai no.
That's the reason we're messing up.
So if the church wants to involve, it must involve totally. Speak out against corruption in every form, speak out against undergrounds. Nah, can we be part of the system of corruption? Nah, otherwise, don't involve anything. Politics. Nah.
Yeah.
Kali election time, the clean election. Prohibition lift kurubal time di itu time di ala kuratu itu Nagaland dekali itu issue duita no hido
so if the church want to involve in politics they have to speak out for every reason
yes involve totally
kali election time no aro ami kan ni next question ti ai jabo if clean election campaign or movement is so much important kile kali election time itu laga khata ko ini apni laga view olop koi sai di bo
itu na manula na mentality na ethical values moral values itu inculcate koribo lage shikabo lage to election la kotha do 5 years ko boli bi ku kam nai church kam to every Sunday na but every Sunday manoge shikabo lage do the right thing in every way
yes
the ini ole automatically ai jai do mudi itu aji tak mo inia kobo gole above average siddha rasta di jao do bacha time rana shika price do moral values na ethical values to possibly develop police na but first moral values do not lie do not cheat do not steal na inia shikai le tu মই তো বাইবেল তো পঢ়িছে হলে মই চার্চে না যাই ওয়াই মই চার্চে যাও তো মই বাইবেল পড়া আর তাতে প্রিচিং করা তো অলপ বি মই এগ্রি না করি দে বিকজ বাইবেল তো আপনি বি পাস্টর আছে ইউ নো বেটার দেন মি ভাস্ট আছে তো না একটা লাইন প্রায় এক ঘন্টা কথা করব বলে পারিব তো but there are certain core values na which must be taught na to people na দুকিয়া মানুষকে মরম করিবি মদত করিবি ভাই sermon on mount এসে নহয় Jesus Christ বা কই দো মই বিমার হওয়া টাইম দি আপনি হসপিটাল দি মই লোক করব লাইছে মই জেল দি থাকা টাইম দি আপনি মই কি না between those who are saved and those who are not saved na তো সেভ খান্ডত নি না কই দো তো হেলদি যাবলে খান তো আরে আপনি কিটা হসপিটাল দি থাকি আপনি কিটা জেল দি থাকি কোয়া টাইম দি for everyone you visited that is me na values these values na moi age dibe ek activity koise moi la guiding ini quote kobo but for the grace of God there goes I na to life tik moi keta be manu duk kora dekhe noile ni kotha moi gari pra jaye ase manu ekjon theng pra jaye ase koile na but for isola murom pra moi gari cholai ase tai theng pra na noile iki ase to na to udai monte rakhibo lage apni to extraordinary noi na aru to hesapra isor ke na you have to give back the talents la kisa ase to na
yes
isor pra apni ke kiba dise to itu use kuribo lage to bhal nimiti na kali moi ekla pra cholai noile moi chupai rakha itu do na cross la kam ase
I got very good points from you. So, any sir to church to najabo lage itu kabi no hoy. Jabo lage huni thakibo lage because fellowshipping with one another, fellowshipping with having a fellowship with other believers edifies us, encourages us, molds us, and lead us in a better way, and we get time to worship together and worship the Lord. That's one point. But what he meant to say is. Church to najabo lage itu kabi no hoy church to kiman bi jai thakile bi ami bahar te church ki kwa ase na bahal kam koribi itu na koribi itu koribo lage itu na korile kiman bi jani gena thakile bi itu to nohobo kwa to support his view on the book of Matthew chapter 24 likhi gena ase no ami kan sob jani ase likhi gena ase at the end time many people will come and say to me, Lord, have we not done all these things for you? We have prophesied in your name. We have preached. We have healed. Itu gato American pastor kan ke kwase. Especially church workers, leaders kan kun full time ministry te ase. Isor nimiti kam kore ase tai kan ke kobole ase to. Ami na jane you wicked people get thee away from me. Inka koi kobole ase koise. So first of all, checkpoint for all the church leaders. Ami kan kiman bi koi thakile bi church ti na काम न करले इतुक लगा पता as well as to all the believers ami khan ajikali ekdom church to any jinda pra heaven ti jabole nishana prathana jaye khoyerti bohe we give most of our time to church no to church ti gini gana hika bole jagena gorti to mota maki jagra kore ase aro to jamala bi bishi ula ase. So we are not saying that we should not go to church or worship in the church. As much as we give our time in fellowshipping in the church, we can life ti kamti kurbo lagi. To sirpura kaise ni apni can be add more to your knowledge. As much as we know, when it comes for clean election campaign or election time ti to candidate kan na nijor church leaders kan ke aro khali church leaders hoile bi choto church leaders kan to na mate to dangor yes organization leaders mati thakgena ami kan nimite aigena prathana kori dibite aro political workers aro any tai laga party workers kan bra church leaders ke bi prayer warriors kan ke bi beshi mati thakigena prathana kori dibi prathana kori bole mon korigena aha bi nohoy hoile bi tai khani mati thage kori dibi koigena but soon after election no eto apni kan laga kam nai any apni kan to jabi kwai nisna church leaders kan ke chore to is or are church leaders being used by the politician today
they are allowing themselves to be used. Kotha itu asde. Cholo bole mon thakile bi moi ane aki miso moi ke tu bishi rasta par moi ke tiba mando to approach koristo. Koli mo sab ko refuse koristo. So takandu moral ethical values nai, moral values nai. Jani ke nahi tu mano tu chor aise ta election jao to aru chor gole ni jaise kile jaise na prashna kori jaise iman publicize kori gini. Poisa dia ni miti ni ki na ki ni miti. Kotha itu aise to. No, you cannot think claim innocence na by saying that I time mati apra jaise on na jabi na. Kini miti church to itu symbol act aise to. Apni individual lan hui to. Itu isola symbol aise to. To itu apni kan bra if you allow yourself to be used, then naturally the people also will think you're giving false signals. Kotha itu aise de. Moi itu kane koisu moi challenge kura to NBCC do directive dibe mudu bikakan sok church pa khata de exomicate koribi koina na
if they really want
to
take
if
the
they
step.
really want clean dry state itu India hole to monabi itu signal yes clear signal that we are against thing lifting prohibition na kali muk prado koi aro church takan la hati power thaka to itu na chale na
Just doing the things but not using the authority.
Yeah, authority that they have na to itu nisna na kile jai
So we church leaders, we are allowing ourselves to be used, becoming a user.
tai India kara polibi kiki olibi tai bimaro na taki kina mati se bole jabi na itu that is a different issue olibi tai kuri bole moi chor bole time di moi ai bina partner kuri moi la success kuro bole di bole chor bole itu kuri aise to.
So in related with going and praying to the candidate house and to minister's
that's
house,
also wrong.
I also want to add one more thing. Is it right for a pastor to go to every candidate house and pray during election?
No, it will be wrong aise na ek talo jabi wrong aise sop lo jabi wrong aise kini meri manu bhal noi do aro biya hoy gena moi change korle mon thakile to alo kotha na oli betan they want to continue
Yeah.
na to election to interfere no koribi na in the sense prashna bi kori na dibi.
So deeply and truthfully, fundamentally, any church leaders can election to involve na kore bahal.
No do na kore bahal aise kini meri kuri se koile do na budnami kori aise to church ke.
We're not trying to criticize or condemn any organization or group that they are those who are organizing this clean election movement, but to be very truthful, church leaders can election day any nakwa bahale hoy ek bar प्रार्थना निमित्त ओलब भी होइछ कोइले तति प्रा ना सब सुरु होइछ जाइछ तो हामी can church leaders can be भाबी सभी हामी can any अपनी can be maybe you have practically experienced all those things अपनी can be सब तो experience होइछ प्रा any एकजन लाव गोटी प्रार्थना करि दिगे न एकजन लाव गोटी भी प्रार्थना करि दे तो किन होबो we don't want to be in order to show our integrity and holiness तो हामी can तो सब पिके आसे कोबोले मन होब्रा सब candidate लगा गोटी प्रार्थना करा भी injustice भी हो we are not maintaining the righteous living and lifestyle in the society as well so अपनी can भी तो होनी किने जानि लबी और in connection with this no I also want to request all the general public as well as politicians and party workers any pastors can mati gana tai kan nahile biya pae tai kan la bostiti bohase tai kan la taunti bohase to ulta pra pastor hoy gena inka blame hoy jaye khali apni la pastor ase na ki apni kan la associate pastor nahi bo koile tai kan la church ti loi lobo to tai kan la association pastor nahile tai kan la association es loi lobo to inka advantage loi jaye
nahi kile bohe lagi kota itu aso to kile bohe lagi kile itu nohile moi hoise apni moi so moi that is my guiding principle de kali isor ke bhoi lagi de kali bhagwan ke to moi pastor khan ko ase apni kan manu ke serve kore ase na isor ke serve kore ase kile etu dikon board khan ke dikon board chairman khan ke bhoi lagi jai kotha kotha atanki kuro mones koribi na put your faith in God apni pastor ekta hoye na apni bhi isor la upori faith na thale kina dosra manu to faith thakibo I put all my faith in God moi koi do ini itu isor lagi di pap la khotoli Christian du moi ekla ase wina na because I put my total faith and trust in God moi do manu ke to figure nahi
yeah
kotha itu ase to moi as a layman moi tak bhi parle apni ando aya kina kurina manu apni an ke follow koribo
yeah that's the reason
apni an profess kura bhi believe na korle na
yeah
to itu ase to kile bohi lagi ini stand up for the right naga manu to only politician kan do beshi bak to evangelist na missionary kan la bacha kan de itu blessing why poila kan do thik pra kuri ase to poila kan do risk loi gina na British time ki Christian world danger British kan do ni itu Hindu kan na mainland Indian kan na buji gina naga manu bhi na buje British kan do encourage kora na Christianity nole tan poila pra rule kuri dai kile itu Anglican church ane ana American kan pra ahe gina na takan itu American mon ge baptize kore ase to so poila evangelist kura kan pastor kura kan do education na thagile bi by faith irone kan blessing na mon ita bhabi se ita do bhabi pastor hole church line di jale family exun jale blessing pabo na na pabo
so
to kotha itu ase
yeah
to moi itu age di bi reduction of Christianity moi likhi na ase article ekta mo koise to theology to puri bina rukam holy church te enter kore boli to bujibi it is a profession it is a calling
yes
you are serving God you are not serving man
you cannot just make somebody to become a preacher or a leader and it's not a kind of job that everyone should be seeking
yes
wanting to
only because Nagaland guaranteed employment to theology line days why church organization job na parle bi press center kholibo na
we are getting out of our topic but church to nimiti any khali job nimiti quran chena hobra they are even becoming so many backdoor appointment as well as corruption in appointing also
aru sabi retirement age to moi na jane but I believe 60 years no it is WSB ke to kina kono aru senior pastor kan na moi to 58 years hoiso moi 12-13 years thaga time bra church ti kam kora manakon aji tak kore aso actively how is that possible
yeah
na to church tu na first nijo la ghor safa koribi na itu basadi clean election la kotha koribi itu basadi prohibition la kotha koribi so many openly blatantly corrupt practice backdoor apni ko anis na no retirement age for some people na are sema di gsu koi do na gas dongor ekta bra na
yeah
sob talent sob murai janis na church ni awa ase do ekjon dishun pura murai dia ase do young generation mano kando sincerely kam grow le mano kando alchila ina na jai do
so we as a church leaders and all the organization in Nagaland need to take hit on his work little bit we are not trying to raise an issue or controversies through this hole bhi ini bahal mon pura bhabi sabe ek bar na bal hobo karne church bhi inka corruption ase so as we have seen in the book of Matthew chapter 7 we keep a very big plank in our eyes and we try to remove a tiny little dust in the eyes of other so ami khan dosra sob chhari digena ami khan life ti church ti organization ti kiman bhi khanda ase so many there's inside within our organization itu kan tu safa korna kore to ini dosra safa kore so we are not trying to say that we should to eliminate or just abandon or boycotted clean election campaign movement, but clean election campaign na kura age ami khan church to be clean hobo lagi
no idu
itu bi naga manke janai dia ase
idu pasudi manubi believe koribo ta na apni kota kota moi iman topic ti moi kotha kori asu hoi moi ke sabole na thaka manu bishi ase holi bi aji tak kile success hua nai moi ke gera bole kini mi moi tu ঠিক পর্যায়ে আছে তো না ইটু মিস না আপনি একটা পজিশন লব কইলে তো আপনি তাতে তো গলতি করব না লাগে না কি নিমিদি মই ইনি একটা দিব एग्जांपल দিয়া রেন্ডি একটা পুরা মানুষ ভার্সন থাকিব লাগে ওয়ান বিজনেস তো না ইয়া তো প্র্যাকটিস হোয়াট ইউ প্রিচ না
let's come to our second question sir can you give your view and your comments on this can or should any organization like NBBC or Simi Baptist Sim Baptist Churches Association or ABAM, the well-known organizations and associations, or maybe kun laga tribe association thaklebi, can any organization or religious group or association impose any church or church leaders to do clean election campaign or clean election activities?
No, you cannot. Because that is not a religious activity. That is a secular activity.
Yeah.
Nah. Aro naam pra moi NBCC ye blame kore because it is apex body. Only NBCC powerless ase. Itu tribal church kan na itu kan pra control kore.
So, in one way, NBBC is voiceless or powerless in this kind of matter.
Yes.
Since tribal bodies, they are making up NBBC. So, in NBCC, Nagaland Baptist Churches Church Council itself doesn't have power in it.
Yes.
It is strengthening by the tribal associations. So, tribal associations can laga takote itu karne to. So, no organization or churches can force any people or individual or any pastor. तो कुनबा जगह तो हुनिया इंचने तो अपनी कान तो क्या क्यों लिबी church आमी कान इतो pastors कान और church leaders कान लगा काम आसे किले ना कुरा कोई कान any blame भी बिशी दिया ना तो it is not necessary for any organization or association to impose that obligation on any church leaders. In respect to our association or organization, आमी कान कुरा ऐसा कोई लिबी कुनबा ना कुरा लिबी इमान बिया पराता है कि ओपोस ना करो भी ना
लिबी क्वेश्चन भी करो बोला के दो ना किले इमान मोगन नागा मानो तो इतना तक ना head hunter mentality ऐसे in a sense we are so fearful head hunter mentality does not mean that you are very brave or head hunter mentality means you are scared to go outside your group for fear that somebody will take your head na itu mentally इतना तक ऐसे मोndo the one group union organization solely dependent not understanding that the organization depends on us yeah so question koribo lage to why aro idu moi to koribole mona thaka pra ase mane moi sumo ho notun ekta kholibo ni ki tumi bhabe thake dem tu gusa pra na yeah you have good right no church holibi you can form your own organization nobody can stop you if anybody stops you they be sent to jail because it right to it comes under the constitution of India it is not our tribal customary right to bujibo lage to apni organization ke obey kuri blind obedience dikhe organization Nagaland ke sab bhutnam hoise mo koise Nagaland pura no koi only public la monti na kiman organization is sab ke na bhutnam na tribal law hobi church law hobi underground law hobi na political party hobi na mon birodi na sab hasi dia ase Libi money to headhunter na headhunting mentality tha obra no koi boy lagi mo ye khetai dile mo ye out kori kyo hobo organization out kori be koi kyo hobo le ase
no one is willing to stood for the truth speak out the truth
because they are scared of being excluded from the group na moi itu moi pola bro ko is I sumo ho na western sumo ho itu lot moi ku connection nai they don't represent me mo pola bro ko is itabi ko is why because they don't speak for me itu nisna organization na kiki olivi itu bujibo lagi de ita tak mon itu mentality thaka place hole nole olivi ek din to suku khola pasin na itu organization sob harai jabo aur notun ni hole jabo itu bujibo lagi
Mark, the word of Sir Kahuto Chishi kiman bi organization ithya ase no ek din to harai jabo
no tik na jaile
we are not trying to say that it will finish up or end up hole bi inka thik rasta ti na jayega na organization kore thakile it be so khatam hoy jabo so the main word that we can take out from this conversation is instead of depending putting our neck chain of association chain in our neck and becoming a puppet we have to stand and speak for the truth speak the truth live the truth itu ko ase to clean election nimiti be any organization kan association kan pura kure ase itu nimiti ami kan bi kuribo lage noy oli bi nijor mon sapa kore aro hesa pura jani gena ki kuribo lage ki na kuribo lage itu jani gena church leaders kan ki bi itu jani gena kuribo lage na and we will just end our conversation for the clean election campaign from here so through this conversation let this conversation create an awareness to the people of Nagaland that instead of screaming, proclaiming, preaching, wasting our energy and resources, preach in a church, and every responsible Christian needs to live right, do right, and maintain the right relationship with God and the people. In Kahuto koile khali election noy sob laga jaga ti clean hoy jabo bal hoy jabo koi gena itu ase please share this video to many people as much as possible bal ase koile and we pray that this message will bring an awareness aro najane manu khan sob ke kipa babna kholi digena bahal rasta di moi khan loi jabo karne ami prathana kore ase thank you so much for viewing this interview and conversation with our GB Sir Kahuto. Please stay tuned for more valuable updates and upcoming activities. Thank you so much.